I thought we might be able to reason with the guards. Or at least bribe them.
I suspect everyone in that crowd thought the same. Was that the only way in?
Officially, yes. Strictly speaking, no. My uncle once told me that the nobles had tunnels built, so that they could visit town without having to walk amongst the rabble. And Lazarus. We'll find our way into the city there.
If you're sure. The entire place looked abandoned. Do you think it's safe?
As long as it is abandoned.
The good news is we haven't seen a single black shield since Old Hill.
Maybe they found who they were looking for.
So yeah, that's pretty much confirmation that Clive and Jill aren't the two that they're looking for, so I'm putting my money on Joshua. At least that's what I think. Another random encounter.
It's over.
Okay, that's why they were saying the Lazarus district.
This is nothing like I remember it.
How quickly a crown can lose its luster.
This one will probably do a little bit of extra exploring around, just because it might be one of the last times we'd be able to come back here. Can I get through this gate? Cannot.
Not abandoned then.
Oi! Visitors!
Apologies. We'll show ourselves out.
Spellcaster first. Oh man. Alright, that was awesome. I didn't know Torgo could do that.
I've only ever seen one man fight like that. And he's long dead.
Then perhaps it's time you joined him.
The blessing of the Phoenix. It can't be. I was there when you died. Huh? Forgive me, my lord. I knew not whom I addressed. You have naught to fear from us. Found her. It really is you.
It is. So, Wade.
We can speak inside.
And those who wouldn't bend the knee?
We left before the Empire could make examples of us, though we didn't go far. And we banded together to form the Guardians of the Flame soon after. Alas, there is only so much a handful of aging shields can do against the might of an empire. But we've seen to it that their stay has been anything but pleasant. Of late, though, we've had our hands full just trying to keep the Duchy's few remaining bearers out of the Imperial's clutches.
The Cullings. We saw what happened in Old Hill.
Aye, the foul work of the Black Shields and their mistress.
You mean my mother? But it doesn't make sense. Even knowing what I know about her. Her hatred for bearers was no secret, but she wouldn't have been ignorant of their value to the realm.
No offense, my lord, but in case you haven't noticed, the Lady Annabella couldn't care less about the realm. She barely even cares for her own home. That much has been plain since the slaughter at Eastpool. And, since granting the Holy Emperor a new heir, her obsession with bearers only seems to have grown. As to why, I don't know. Maybe she can't bear the thought of anyone having the power to challenge her beloved son.
Her son.
Sir Wade, the Black Shields have broken camp. They march in full force for Buick Bridge.
Then so do we. Make ready. This is their main host. If we remove the head, perhaps we can prevent what happened at the docks from happening somewhere else. If I do nothing, then the blood of their next victims will be on my hands.
Yours and ours. We too have witnessed the crimes these men who dare call themselves shields have committed in my mother's name. It cannot be allowed to continue. We must put a stop to this madness.
We must. So let us go with you. For the good of Rosaria.
I was hoping you'd say that. Very well. If that is your wish, I would be honored to serve at your side.
And we at yours.
So, Wade, let us do our duty.
With pleasure, my lord.
I imagine this endeavor will require more than just our wits.
So we get... Ah, no.
Then let's hope Sir Wade has a good quartermaster.
Buck up, man. At least
I
you're
suppose
not
we
dead.
owe you our thanks. You spared us when you could have just as easily sent us to the mud.
Oh yeah, that's polite that we didn't end up killing the guys who were attacking us.
Mercy as they did our sisters.
Guarding quartermaster.
Are welcome to what little we have managed to salvage.
Demon Tamer's Arm Guards, so that's what that's called. Crimson Tassels. I don't remember using a potion, but let's go ahead and grab that.
Will that be all?
Go strength tonic.
Of course, my lord.
I almost feel like I'm gonna regret not getting these elixirs if I don't get them now. I'll get one.
As you wish, my lord.
So that's a lot of fucking money for one item. Let's talk to Wade.
Tell us then, Sir Wade. What is your plan?
Nothing fancy. You, Lady Jill and I make for Buett Bridge and provoke the main host at their encampment. Sensing an opportunity to end the Guardians, the Black Shields will call for reinforcements, who will be met from the rear by parties of my brothers hidden throughout the surrounding hills. This will allow us to wage battle on the bridge without fear of being overwhelmed. While the Black Shields have an advantage in numbers, you see, they prefer to fight in small units, which we can use to our advantage.
How small exactly?
Small enough, now that I have you and Lady Jill for company. I doubt I could have done this on my own.
But until we arrived, that was your plan. You haven't changed a bit.
So Wade, the bearers from Oldale have been laid to rest.
Very good. Now make ready for battle.
As you command.
Thank you, Sir Wade. Perhaps now they will find peace.
There is but one thing which will grant them peace. Putting an end to the Black Shields.
And so we shall.
Go and prioritize that one. Throughout the main scenario, Clive will often be joined by various companions who are keen to lend their assistance. However, depending on Clive's destination, they may choose to remain behind at the hideaway. Okay. So we've got Wade now, and depending on where we go, he may or may not continue to join us as a party member.
May the blessing of the Phoenix go with you.
So I really wasn't expecting that, that Wade was still alive.
How long have you been pursuing the Black Shields?
Since they burned their first village, we tracked down the bastards responsible and fed their corpses to Stillwind. Suffice to say, that got their attention. It's been a game of cat and mouse ever since.
So he's been going after these guys ever since the first time they attacked another village, which is, you know, it makes sense because with Clive being as angry with them as he is, for basically bearing the name of the Shields and going around killing people, basically, Wade being another one of the few surviving members of the Shields probably feels exactly the same way. Let's go ahead and take these guys out.
What is it now? I told you!
We bear a message for the Vicereine. From the Guardians of the Flame.
Ha! You presume to tell us that a pair of filthy vagabonds, a woman and a dog, could guard aught against the might of the Black Shields? Then come! Die along with your flame! For Azaria!
For Azaria!
Your petty revolution ends here. On these our swords we swear.
Well.
Damn, I was hoping I could hit him with a Punisher combo before he got up.
Bloody hell! Reinforcements from the far bank!
Another wyvern to fight their battles for them.
We'll go ahead and take out the shields real quick, and then we'll deal with the wyvern.
Let's try.
Imperials aren't taking any chances. I can't say I'm flattered.
Let's go ahead and do a limit break. Oh, shit. I keep using that ability when I'm trying to, do the Phoenix shift.
A noble stand, albeit a misguided one. In taking it, you have but proven our point. That this land is in dire need of cleansing.
Not blasting dark. See if I can remember this dude's double combo this time. Damn it, nope, can't.
So wait! There's no one left to keep them occupied.
Now that we have 6 abilities to go with, it's
Finish him.
really makes the
Better already. Nice try.
that second one seems like it comes faster. Oh, that's it. Imperial Link. Dragon Talon. Lots of crafting stuff.
I don't see any more.
Nor do I. The plan worked.
It did. It bloody worked. We sent every last one of the rotten bastards straight to the mud. My, Lord, perhaps this will be enough to stop the Cullings. For the time being, at least.
Perhaps. Though I doubt my mother will take this loss well. She'll move swiftly to see her minions' ranks replenished.
And then it will all begin again. I often wonder if the nation we once knew is gone for good. Her fields rot. Her people starve. We battled to preserve the flame that was, but for every foe we fell, another springs up in its place. Yet be that as it may, it is still our home, and we must fight for it. As we always have, and always will. For as long as the Firebird's flame burns in our hearts, the Duchy cannot die. And her loyal subjects may dream of a day when the Rosarian standard flies over Rosalith once more.
So wait,
Think we should fall back to Port Isolde before the garrison sends reinforcements? A sound strategy, my lord.
So that gave us another 20 renown. Whoa. That's glitching. Real bad.
And how long has my uncle been funding you and your comrades' endeavors?
Since the beginning. Lord Byron was the first person I turned to after forming the Guardians. And had I known of this tunnel back then, I wouldn't almost have been hanged by the city guard for trying to sneak over the wall.
I suppose a formal request for an audience would have appeared suspicious.
And appearances must be maintained. Were the Vice-Regency to catch wind of Lord Byron's involvement in our movement, they'd seize his estate and send him to the gallows, where he would be of no use to anyone. And so, though it sickens him to the soul, he plays the part of the loyal lord, knowing that one wrong move might prove his downfall. It is why he remains ever vigilant. Don't be surprised if he refuses you an audience, especially since you're famously dead.
Then I will have to think of a way to prove that I am neither wraith nor wrongdoer.
I might have something which could help with the latter. It's the mark of the Guardians. Display it, and those who love Rosaria will know where your loyalties lie.
Except the burnt blade from Wade.
I shall wear it with pride.
Be sure that you do. I don't want my men attacking you again. Unless you deserve it. If only Sir Tyler could have been here to see you. Or the Lord Commander.
Thank you, Sir Wade. If there is ever anything you need.
I know. Go on now, my lord.
How accommodating. Do you really think they believe we are who we say we are?
Not a chance. Right, I guess. My uncle believes we're imposters here to rob him. And means to string us up himself.
Imagine my surprise when I was told my nephew had come to visit. Clive Rosfield died long ago. And for uttering his name here, you shall pay with your tongue! You would mock me as well?
It is I, Sir Crandall of Camelot, loyal servant to Her Serene Holiness, Saint Sybil the Unshod. Meadow, thou vile sorcerer, for thy crimes against church and crown, I shall have thy head.
Curse thee, infectious flax wench? Even in death, must thou plague me still? Very well. I shall open the gates of hell, that thou might see thy charge once more.
Bravo, Uncle. You're still the finest Maddo in the twins.
Oh, Clive, my dear boy, it's really you. You always were fond of that scene from The Saint in the Sanctuary. Never did let me play Sir Crandall.
I have a favor to ask, Uncle Byron.
Rutherford, inform the kitchens. There'll be guests. We dine immediately.
But, Uncle...
You can't very well regale me with the tale of your miraculous preservation on an empty stomach. Go on, sit. See that you use the good plates, Rutherford. So you arrived late to one of her cullings, did you? Since becoming Vicereine, Annabella has been a constant thorn in Rosaria's side, but these atrocities are a new low. Something has changed. Quite what, I don't know, but the woman we knew is gone, and a monster sits in her place.
A monster?
For better or worse, I've been charged with governing this town, and thus must maintain the illusion of obedience. That's all I can do to aid Wade and his merry band of revolutionaries.
So he's told us. You have risked much for Rosaria. Our nation will be forever in your debt.
It has been 20 years, Clive. The nation your father and your forefathers fought to defend is no more. Perhaps it would be otherwise had I the courage of my brother. All right, if it's a ship you require, a ship you shall have. I've a galley in port, but recently relieved of her cargo. She can be outfitted for the voyage in a matter of weeks.
So you believe us, then? About everything?
Believe you? Ha! Only a fool would believe even half of the things you claim. But until tonight, only a fool would have believed my nephew still lived. And besides, I have it on good authority that Clive is telling the truth.
Whose authority?
By your own, of course. You've always been a terrible liar.
Is that true?
It's not untrue.
Let's say no more about it, eh? It wouldn't do to linger on my nephew's greatest failing. The one thing I cannot believe, though, is all this about you being Sid. You were always such a good boy, but now you're quite the outlaw. Which, if I'm not mistaken, would make me an outlaw's uncle. Right then, who shall we pillage first? Rutherford, fetch me my cutlass. This will be fun.
Over there. Go on.
She's a fine ship, isn't she?
Once outfitted, she'll bear us across the boiling sea to Drustinus in the space of 3 days.
Something on your mind?
Monsters. When I served the Iron Kingdom, I did so because I saw no other choice. Because once they learned that the lash would not move me, they turned it on those who could. And so I became their puppet. I let them pull my strings, telling myself it was not my hand that swung the sword, but another's. I removed myself from the truth so I wouldn't feel the pain it caused. And before I knew it, I no longer felt anything. Anything at all. I had become a monster.
Jill.
I don't want to be a monster, Clive. Do you understand? I want to choose a different path, a better path. To live on my own terms. But before I can do that, I need to come to terms with my past.
And when you do, I'll be standing there with you, just as you stood with me.
Thank you, Clive. I must atone for my sins. Only then, when it's done, will the monster cease to be.
Just promise me that you won't die with it. Now, let's get some sleep. The journey back to Benamir is long, and there is much to tell the others.
Alright, so a lot went on there. Damn, even now, later in the game, it's still getting very, very cutscene heavy, making it feel like I don't have to do much in terms of commentating. Oh shit, I dropped the control. Damn, but I can't reach it. Oh no, I'm gonna cut this out. This is ridiculous. Okay, alright, we're back. Anyway, yeah, it's getting very story heavy. You know, there was a lot I wanted to touch on, even way back to when Wade. You know, we found out that Wade was still alive, and then I was kind of halfway thinking that maybe Tyler might still be alive, but of course, you know, as Wade said, he isn't. And then we had the and he did also mention the Lord Commander, which we of course already knew because of Lady Hannah back in Eastpool. Now, they were able to make their way very quickly to, which, by the way, hold on, I gotta go back to that damn blinking ass building. Oh man, that was rough. It was so distracting. The building that was blinking in and out of the scene right there, especially right behind Clive. I was like, Jesus Christ, it's not very helpful. But then, you know, he was able to make his way to his uncle's place, and then they, in order to prove that it was him, he reenacted a scene from I guess their favorite play. And I kept meaning to bring this up earlier, but something did seem to be bothering Jill, and I wondered if it was the same thing that she had mentioned earlier about wanting to atone for her past in the same way that Clive did, and it does seem that does seem to be the case. So they've got their ship, and they're going to head back to the hideaway and start making preparations to make their way to that next Mother Stone. Now, one of the questions I had about this was, when the Mother Stones, if they were to all vanish, if they were to all be taken out, would the blight recede, or would everything kind of remain the way it was? Maybe for a certain amount of time. I don't know, maybe it wouldn't restore immediately, maybe it would take some time, but maybe eventually it would be able to be restored. But then again, maybe not. Maybe then it's just everything that's left is just what they have left. And, you know, kind of the way Wade was saying, Clive's mother does not care about what happens to the realm, so even if the blight ends up eating through everything, none of these leaders seem to care, or at least they don't. They're willing to, at the very least, let the blight eat through the land in order to further their objectives. Yeah, we've still got this. So this is also really cool because it looks like we can kind of trace where the blight is going on these maps. So it looks like it's all right here, you know, and of course here it is in the middle of where the hideaway is sitting. I didn't pay that much attention my first time around, but it seemed like these islands maybe weren't this bad initially, and they've gotten progressively worse. Let's see here. Yeah, no fast travel available. We can't really go back to anywhere that we've been before at the current moment. So really the only option next is to go back to the hideaway. I'm probably going to have another cutscene here. No, I'm not. Here be monsters.
Only the Founder knows what awaits us in the Iron Kingdom. But Vivian could probably make an educated guess.
Okay, cool. So, let's go talk to Jill one more time real quick.
One way or another.
So, yeah, I've kind of been back at this for another hour and a half, and it is actually getting late. I'm going to go ahead and call it right here for the day, and maybe come back tomorrow and do some more recording, although I do need to start editing because I do have plenty of footage now that I can start uploading the footage, and I need to finish, I also need to finish Kingdom Hearts as well. I think I need to finish editing that and then finish uploading it, and I got a lot of the not as fun part of this to do. Obviously, you know, like the gameplay is the most fun part of the gameplay, and the commentary is the most fun part of doing this, but you know, there's the work aspect of it too. Just ripping through the edits and getting the upload scheduled and all that stuff. So I might spend a little bit of time tomorrow knocking out a few of these edits so I can get some of these up. With the cutscenes being as long as they are, though, these episodes may end up being a little bit longer than usual, because it would just feel weird for me to put nothing but cutscene into a single episode and having like no commentary in it, because I don't like to talk through the cutscenes, because I just like to kind of absorb it and see everything that's happening. So they might end up being a little bit longer, because these cutscenes are getting long. And I don't know if that's gonna... I mean, there's some parts where there's like, where it goes a little while without having like a really long cutscene, you know, like when we're doing side questing and all the bonus stuff. But as of right now, it might not... some of these episodes might end up being 40 minutes to an hour or something, depending on the events that are taking place. So yeah, we'll stop it here, and then we will pick it back up tomorrow or sometime.